everybody, welcome back to our channel. Welcome back to another video. So today's video is going to be a meal prep. It is 7:09 p.m. way later than I planned to start, but I have about 40 minutes that I'm going to do some meal prepping. So I'm going to put my oven on, maybe a little non-traditional prepping, but I'm going to get it going here. Kids and I got to eat. And so I'm going to bring you guys along as I meal prep. I'm going to sit you guys up on a tripod and just kind of chit chat as I'm doing things. All right, you guys, so what I'm going to be doing while the kids are moving stuff to wherever stuff needs to go in the pantry and all of that, I am going to, can somebody give me a wet towel? No. I need the chicken, the big one. Oh, the big chicken. I'll take the little one as well, but I need the big chicken for right now. I need to prep that first. I'm going to be prepping a couple things. So I'm going to prep some barbecue chicken. Is there a leg? Yeah, that's a whole chicken. All right, so a friend of ours, no, not that one, Bubba. A friend of ours, but I do need the Instant Pot out and I need the crock pot out. A friend of ours comes to eat dinner with us one day a week, and she always brings a rotisserie chicken. We don't ask her to bring anything, but she will not bring the rotisserie chicken. So now that she has brought the chicken, we usually just eat one for a couple days, and then we have one left. So I usually will take this rotisserie chicken apart, and then I will either use garlic and Parmesan marinade, or I will do a barbecue and go ahead and put that in the oven. So because we need dinner for tonight, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and take this rotisserie chicken and I'm going to separate it using my kitchen shears. And I'm going to put it on a flat pan, put a barbecue sauce on it, and that's going to be dinner. We'll just make some green beans or something to go with it, or maybe a spinach salad. We don't know. Maybe the cream greens.
I love cream greens.
Maybe the cream greens, and I'll do that recipe for you guys very quickly. After I get this on a flat pan, let me grab a pan. The kids and I were out in the garden, and the mosquitoes were out there as well. So they got the kids pretty good. I had a long skirt, so they didn't get me as bad, but listen, they are here for it. Prayerfully, pretty soon, though, the mosquitoes will have gone on about their business and left us alone. Leave one of the cream cheeses out though, because I'll need it to be a little bit more room temperature. All right, so of course at Costco they truss the chicken, which means put the legs together and tie the wings behind its back. So what I'm going to do, because this has been in the fridge, is I'm just going to go ahead and separate the thigh and the leg, both thighs, both legs, both wings. We usually save the breast meat for a soup, but we have some breast meat. So I'm going to go ahead and take this whole chicken minus the back, lay it on this flat pan, and then put a barbecue sauce on it. We're going to do a barbecue sauce today. Now this is not, 100% prepping from scratch. This is prepping using something that we already have, and we're okay with that on this particular meal. I'm getting ready to do a chicken and rice soup. I'm going to prep it for the crock pot. I'm not going to cook it today, but I'm going to prep it for the crock pot. And it'll be ready for one day this week, maybe for a lunch. I think I'm going to take Friday off. I am just really tired. I feel fine, but I've been hitting it at both ends, just doing quite a lot, and I'm tired. So I'm going to, and the kids, Jackson and Alana, both have their allergy shots on Friday, and then I have a doctor's appointment to recheck my blood pressure after she changed my blood pressure meds to make sure that it's working out fine. She reduced my medication, the last medication that I'm on, she reduced it to half. So I have to go back and make sure that all is well with my blood pressure. So, okay. All right. This is probably going to turn into a couple of days of prepping because we had to do our grocery shopping today. because we did our grocery shopping and we had to work in the garden, that I got started a little bit later than I planned. And both the kids still have homeschool that they need help with. So I'm going to help Jackson and Alana. Jackson is working on variables, which is a little bit of light algebra in the 7th grade. And then sister's factoring polynomials in the algebra 2. So we still have some homeschool. And I also have a budget class tonight that I'm going to be doing for some ladies. Yes, lovely. They're like numbers with variables, but multiples of them. Trinomials, right? The 3 of them. Okay. All right, so I've pulled off all that chicken. I'm going to go wash my hands, and then I'll put together that barbecue sauce. All right, I'm just going to take some of this Sweet Baby Ray's. This is the no sugar added. I'm so glad that they finally got this. Of course, it's 1 gram of net carbs per serving. And I know somebody would say this is probably dirty keto or lazy keto. But we just have to get what we could afford. And this wasn't cheap. So, barbecue sauce. And then some of the golden monk fruit. Stir, stir, stir. And then I'm just going to take this and drizzle it over the chicken. This is going to go in the oven for about 30 minutes, just until this barbecue sauce settles in and caramelizes just a tiny bit. I like to put it on all the meat. Just spread it out as evenly as possible. Have the oven on 400 degrees because it is later than we would like it to be. Normally we would do it at 350 for a slower amount of time. As it is, it'll probably be about 25-30 minutes. We'll check it because it is at 400.
Are you doing a hot and fast?
Yeah.
Hot, right? No, it's hot and fast. Like in the cooking show, instead of doing like slow and steady, like being
We have to do it hot and fast because we don't have any choice.
Because they had a time limit, they had to do all the time hot and fast. The time limit.
How is that chicken? Do I need to like shred up or something now?
It's already should be shredded. Doesn't need to be shredded anymore. Now I'm just going to put this on the side until my oven beeps that it's ready. Then it'll go in.
Well, we're putting in 2 bags of chicken that we had frozen.
It's a lot of chicken. I'm going to take some of this to put in the other one. That's too much.
Okay, so maybe 1 bag of chicken would probably be enough.
So I think that's too much chicken for one soup. So I'm going to go ahead and take some of that out to put in my chicken and rice soup. Alana's going to do a creamy chicken, and I'm just going to do a regular chicken and rice. Chicken and Kaale rice.
I don't think that's a meat on it. Oh, okay.
That should be plenty enough for her creamy soup.
Alright, so now we're going to put in our 2 bags of cauliflower.
What's the iced tea for?
A few pounds.
this in a Ziploc bag.
Or, well, it can stay here. I'll cook it tomorrow. I'll use it tomorrow to do something else with it. For the casserole that I did.
Your sausage casserole? Does that mean you're not gonna use the sausage?
No, I'm gonna use it.
Don't worry, Mom. I'm gonna be in the kitchen tomorrow. I don't know what I'm doing, but we'll figure it out later. Then you want to add any kind of veggies you want. Veggies normally help to fill up the meal. You know, like make it more filling, so you know you're not hungry later. And it's definitely needed in our house because we are always hungry later.
You putting carrots in there?
In the soup.
Yeah, seasoning blend. Just really some onion, celery, peppers, parsley flakes, that kind of stuff. Here's some water. Mom said only about a cup. And now for the fun part of the seasoning. So we of course have salt. Now, number one thing about salting your soup, always salt a lot. Because for some reason, soups just aren't salty enough.
You look down there and give me that cabbage.
And it might look like I'm over salting it, but trust me, I'm not. We've had many experiences. Or mix it all around, of course, and after it's done. That way, all the seasonings can really seep through. All right. I have your black pepper. Black pepper is much easier than salt. All you do is just give a little shake, shake, shake. Again, don't worry, this will all be stirred in. Next we have some onion powder. That's Alexa. Now we have some garlic. You really don't need to salt this. I mean, you really don't need to season it. Like, put all of this in, but, you know, we like flavor. I'm kind of like the seasoned girl.
Liver? You said flavor.
I know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. Mom says I season the meat very well. I believe I do. This is some chili powder. It's really good in soup. All right, and some oregano. I don't know. I just like it in here. Mom says oregano. Always want flavor. Flavor is my thing. If I don't have flavor, it's not interesting. And last but not least, for the first part of the meal, this meal, is a ranch packet. Seasoning mix. This is gonna be good. Well, I think I just pull it all in. It's soup. Put everything in you can. Alrighty. That's the first part of the soup. And we're just gonna put the top on it. Make sure it's sealed. I'm gonna press soup. 20 minutes now. And that's it.
All right, it's back to Mom now. So I had some celery stalks. I had some carrots that I had chopped. This is just a rough chop because we're doing like a chicken and rice soup because it's cool here. It is fall officially. We have not had any really, really hot days. The mornings always start off pretty cold. So that's about 3 or 4 stalks of celery, 3 or 4 small carrots, and of course in my crock pot I have the chicken. So again, this is not going to be put in to cook for a couple of days. So what I'm going to do, I'm just prepping it, getting everything in. I'm still using that. I was chomping on my aluminum foil, but it was breaking. So Alana did prep a meatloaf, and she didn't love the meatloaf, so I'm going to repurpose half of this to, tomorrow in a sausage bake. I saw Paige Danielle do a sausage bake using Pillsbury crescent rolls. Of course, Pillsbury crescent rolls are not keto friendly, so we're going to use a fathead dough, but I'll take you along on that one as well. And then I had 2 small cabbages in our crisper that needed to be used. So we pulled off the outer leaves. I'm going to core the cabbage, and then I'm just going to chop it. I'm going to core this cabbage, and then I'm just going to give it a rough chop. You don't normally see like a cabbage in a chicken soup, but it needed to be used, and we like cabbage, so we're good with it. And instead of having a thin soup, this will add a little bit of depth of flavor. We're gonna season this. And again, we're using some of those rotisserie chickens that we had. Oh my goodness, y'all. If you could smell that barbecue sauce on that chicken right now. Woo, in Jesus' name. Woo, glory, yes, God. I hear ya. There's something about the name Jesus. Something about the name Jesus. It is the sweetest name I know. And oh, how I love the name Jesus. Well, that chicken is smelling good. Lovelies, I got eggs that need to go up, napkins, and the rest of the cream cheese. I just needed 1, but I don't think I'm making that recipe. Oh, I'm making it the cream greens.
Cream greens. Cream it. Cream it. Tomorrow.
And then, sister, if you'll come and
make that head dough.
Yeah, if you'll come and but I don't need it to be cooked all the way, so y'all have to wait for me.
What does that mean? You don't want us to cook it, right? You just want us to make the dough.
I just want you to make it.
The dough. Okay, Mom. Don't cook it. But I have a new plan.
What's the dough for?
It's a new strategy.
Oh, I was gonna say you can season this, sister.
What am I seasoning?
This soup. No ranch.
I don't know.
Just regular season.
What's over here? Thing at 8.
Shouldn't be too long.
Is this over? Is it done?
Yes, that's all right. There it is. That's everything that's going in. And Alana's gonna come over and do the seasoning. When we get ready to cook this, we will add either chicken broth or we'll add water.
Or no, are we gonna cook it tonight though?
No, not tonight. We're just gonna sit in the fridge. Ooh, glory God. Okay.
Again with soups.
Another renegade door.
Yeah.
No, but you host it here. Hold on,
That's right. By whom?
No,
No, you're right. That stuff just ends up still in your head.
Who gives you body language?
Do you remember any of it?
What?
Well, any of the lines.
In which one?
In any of them.
Absolutely.
Oh, you know what, Jackson? We should quiz Mom on how well she knows
And
Chronicles of Narnia.
where is that little dwarf who doesn't believe in
Oh,
lions?
Mom, it's the famous swordsman.
Swordsman
And Archer.
Who
doesn't believe in lions. Come to me. Come here. All right. Okay.
I really want to get that for somebody for Christmas.
We'll have to look and see if we can't find
She'll
a good
love
price.
that.
I think she will.
Who love it?
Rania,
You know she'll love it.
I think I saw it on a good price.
Yeah.
We'll
you know
look
why
for
it's
it and see if
great?
we can find it on a good price and just order it now.
The characters.
That's always what I do,
And
Mom.
then we'll
Uncle
have
Andrew and Magic.
I already asked Carmen what she wanted, but she
We
said
can-
she didn't know yet.
do that. Let me get myself situated for this meeting. Good morning, you guys. So it's the next day. I'm looking real raggedy because I'm trying to get an egg bake and some bacon in before we start cleaning around the house. So we're still working on meal prep. I have to do, we don't always prep breakfast or lunches because a lot of times we'll have leftovers for lunches. But right now what we're getting ready to do is put on some bacon for breakfast, and I'm going to do an egg bake. We'll eat some of the egg bake for breakfast this morning, and we'll have some for tomorrow. Then I'm also going to finish up that chicken and rice soup. I'm going to finish that and throw that in the crock pot to start. I'm also going to work on the sausage and cheese bake that I saw Paige Danielle do on her channel, but I'm going to make mine keto friendly. And what else was on our list? I think that was it. We do have to make fathead dough in order to do that recipe, but I think that was it. So we're going to whip up a couple things very quickly. And then I do have some other projects that I'm planning. I'm going to switch over my bedroom for the fall winter season. And I'm going to strip the beds and do all that. So I'm going to bring you guys along on a separate video. Kind of let's get this fall started. But anywho, I'm going to go and put on a headpiece because I cannot. I don't have earrings on. Y'all, I don't feel my best self if I don't feel dressed up. And it's early in the morning. So let me go feel better and get this meal prep done. All right, y'all. So I'm going to do an egg bake. It's just a simple egg bake. But I am going to add in some spinach and some peppers and onions and some cheese. And I'm going to do some bacon crumbles. Now, we are doing bacon for breakfast this morning, but we don't always have bacon. So if I put some crumbles in the egg bake, whether we have side bacon or not, we're still gonna have bacon in the bake. I won't put a lot, just a little bit. So I'm probably gonna do about 10 eggs. And again, this will be enough for a couple of breakfasts. And I'm realizing now that I normally get about 60 eggs for the week. And I only got 36 eggs yesterday. So if I have to get anything, it'll probably be more eggs because I only got 36 and I normally get 60 for the week. Well, gonna have to go get heavy cream because we don't have any of that. Thought I picked it up at Aldi, but I guess I didn't. I'm just gonna salt and pepper this. I'm not gonna put any other spices in it. Well, maybe chili powder. So I just like, if I had extra veggies that I hadn't used up, like broccoli or cauliflower, I would actually put that in here as well. This is kind of like a quiche crustless. And then I'm going to put in the seasoning blend because we have a little bit left of this. And then I'm going to put in some spinach because we have, spinach because we have some of that. What, babe? Yes. And we're just going to give that a good stir. I'm going to chunk up those next time I'll just chop up that spinach a little bit so it's fine and not just leaves. And then I'm going to put a little bit of cheddar cheese inside, and I'll put some on top as well. So just a little. Can I have a pan, babe? Spray it for me. For a glass pan or a casserole dish. So it's not as thick of a casserole, or I could have used a shallower dish, a wider dish, but not as long. But this will cook up fast. It'll cook fast. And then we usually always have something to go with it. So a little bit of cheese on top. And this is going into the oven with the bacon for breakfast. All right. Into the oven this goes. I'll put this on the top. And I'll put the bacon on the bottom. We'll do 17 minutes. I'm gonna clean up some stuff here and get started on my all right, so I've got my sausage. This is just a pound. I only had 1 pound, so this is a pound of breakfast sausage. I'm gonna add some of this seasoning blend to it. And I'm just going to cook this until it is done. In the meantime, the spaghetti squash has stopped. Still hard. Still hard. We're going to put it on for another 5 minutes. The bacon and egg bake are just about to come out of the oven. And we are finishing up the chicken and rice soup. Alright, so in my estimation, one of the main reasons that people do not like to meal prep is because of all the mess. And so what we try to do, because my kitchen in about 10 minutes has gotten crazy. So while my sausage is going, I'm now trying to clean. I'm trying to clean some of the mess, some of the, garbage. So that way I'm not dealing with a lot of garbage, or I'm not dealing with the cleanup all at the end. I bought some celery from Aldi yesterday, and when I actually picked it up, it wasn't like the most firm. So I'm gonna trim the edges, and I'm gonna wash it up real good, and then I'm gonna throw it in a bowl with some water to prayerfully preserve as much of it as I'm able to get a few more meals. Because if I leave it the way it is right now, it probably only has a day or two left. And if I had known that, I would have just picked it up at Walmart. I'm at Harris Teeter. Sister's gonna come pull the casserole out and the bacon.
I think let's just keep going.
Let me see it. Pull it out. Put it on the bottom. Put it on for another 10 minutes. So I washed the celery, and I'm just gonna third it. I just cut it in little thirds because I'll use it for a recipe. And then I'm just gonna put it in a bowl with some water and into the fridge. In the bottom crisper is where it's gonna live until I use it again. That way I'm not losing it. Because I really do hate to lose money. Waste is not a friend of mine. So I'm just going to take this bowl, throw in the celery. Fill it with cold water, and then I'm going to put the top on and into the fridge. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to repurpose this pan. I'm going to turn it down, actually, a little bit. My sausage is done, but I have hunks of sausage, and I don't like a hunk of sausage in my meals like this. So I'm going to throw this into the food processor. It's got the onions, it has the peppers, and so I'm just going to throw this into the food processor to break down the meat, because I want to be able to have enough meat in every bite of what I'm using. And so what I do is I normally would process this in the food processor to make the meat finer. This is where the fathead dough is helpful. It's not made yet. The coffee can go. Leave that one out for Jackson. Oh, he probably is gonna need cream cheese.
Yes.
Do you have cream cheese though? Besides that one in the fridge?
What's that one for?
For this casserole. Do we have any more in the fridge?
Of course not, Mom. Never put cream cheese in the freezer. Never comes out right.
Well, it will if you use it in a stew or a soup.
Mom, you said don't
We
put
don't
cream
eat
cheese in the
stew.
freezer.
Why don't we eat stew?
We haven't just had stew yet.
That and sour cream.
What is stew made?
Like beef,
Venison?
just venison it can be.
I mean, I read that book about the, what is that captured by the Indians? No, the name of the trapper and stuff. And two
You
kids.
can stew any meat. It's just
How you doing with this?
how you cook it.
I mean,
No, I'm not done with it.
so you can soup meat raw?
You can stew meat. It's not going to be raw. You can cook it. All right, so I have now my sausage is now ground. I'm going to add my cream cheese to this so that it can melt because the sausage is still hot. So what I'm going to do is just add in my cream cheese so that can melt while it's there. And then I'm going to process this meatloaf. Alana made a meatloaf yesterday, but didn't love it. Is that right, sister? She said it didn't come out right. I don't know what she didn't do. I know we were missing a few ingredients that we didn't have. So I'm going to reprocess it with my spaghetti squash and use it as a bake. All right, y'all, we got a lot happening in the kitchen now. We're full swing, and I'm supposed to be resting, right? Not. So I've got 3/4 block of cream cheese. I'm just going to put the top back on this with the sausage and let this melt while Jackson is working on the fathead dough. With that being said, I'm sliding that out of my way. And the next thing I'm working on is this meatloaf. Now, we're going to finish up whatever. Oh, we just have water in there, which is not helpful. Thanks. No worries. Alana made a meatloaf yesterday, and she didn't love it. I don't know what, I didn't eat any of it, so I can't say what she did wrong or didn't do wrong. What did you do wrong, sister?
I'm missing a couple stuff.
Like what?
Ketchup.
She was missing ketchup.
And
It's also not cooked through.
With it, maybe like a little
It's not
tiny
cooked
bit
through.
under that.
Yeah, look, it's pink.
How long did you cook it for?
45 minutes.
On.
300, 350, or
It's
400?
I don't do 300.
I mean, I meant 350 or 400.
Either one.
See, that's what I did.
All right, so what I did was I just took what was left and cut it in little bite-sized pieces. So I just cut it this way and then cut it that way, just to unchunk it. Now I'm going to take it in this same pan that I used to do my sausage. So all that sausage grease is in there. This is already fully seasoned meat, but I am looking at it and it is a little underdone. So we're going to done it.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Let's just get that out, sister. One sec. Still trying to keep it a little tidy. I'm done with this because I'm going to use the rest of that cream cheese. So Jackson said, oh, Mom, you're going to make kind of like a bolognese. Kind of. Sort of. All right. So what we're doing now, I'm going to just turn my heat back a smidge because it is popping from that sausage grease. So So I'm now just cooking this meat through. It's a meatloaf that we're repurposing to do a spaghetti bake. And so it's the cheese stuffed meatloaf, so there is cheese in there. So it is melting. There's some peppers and onions and a few little light things. But I'm going to add some more stuff to it. So this is one of those repurpose, you know, a leftover makeover. There it is. This is a leftover makeover. We can do white, doesn't matter to Mom. I'm here for all the things. Sister wants to do a white sauce. Works out perfect. So I'm going to take some spinach that we have. We are noticing that our spinach does not last long. So we do want to use up as much of it as possible. And we're just going to put as much of it as we are able into here and wilt that down. I'm also going to add in bacon crumbles to this.
Is any of us ready to go?
The spinach can go. I'll leave the bacon and the cheese. I did not do my cream greens yet. I'll do those later. But I'll also film that for you as well, because I did not do the cream greens. It was late. We were working on homeschool last night. And we have about an hour before we need to start homeschool now. We still have not eaten yet. But as soon as we get this stuff in the oven, we'll be able to move a little bit more. We do have some laundry going. So, you know, we're getting a few things done. In the meantime, Jackson is working on the fathead dough that we're going to use for the sausage bake.
Tip, you should use gloves, but we didn't have any. It says mixed by hand, so.
Out of gloves, sorry. Maybe you switch out Jackson's pan. Give him a smaller one. You take that bigger one, because that's a large spaghetti squash, and we're gonna need, I was needing a double batch of dough, Jack.
So, what's the price for spaghetti squash again? What's the price for spaghetti squash?
69 cents a pound. It was a good price this week.
How many pounds is yours?
I didn't weigh it, and I didn't watch when she was doing that. All right, so I just added in, let me see. Yeah. Some bacon bits. I added in bacon bits. And then now I'm just going to add in the garlic, roasted garlic Alfredo Classico sauce that we got last week for $1.23 a jar. I don't know why it was cheap, but we'll take it. Nope, it doesn't matter what. All their Classicos were $1.23, and they only had the white sauce left by the time we went to do our grocery shop. So we did pick it up. And then I do have a quarter block of the cream cheese, which I'm adding as well. So it's going to be nice and rich, but we are adding a huge spaghetti squash. This is going to a huge spaghetti squash. So I'm just going to turn that down. Not going to add any more seasoning to this, but I am going to season the spaghetti squash before I top this. Before I put this over top of the spaghetti squash. I'm just letting that cream cheese melt. And I'm lagging now, y'all. We've been in the kitchen about an hour. So I'm just letting this do what it's doing. I'm not going to mess with that anymore. I'm going to leave this and move over to my sausage and cream cheese mixture. It is inside of this blender or this food processor, so I'm just going to process it slowly. And now that cream cheese has blended with the sausage, and this is ready to go on top of the fathead dough. So when Paige Danielle made it last week, she used crescent rolls, and we're keto, so of course we don't do crescent rolls. But I was like, bet I'm about to make this. So we're going to make a fathead dough, and we're going to blind bake it for a little while, just so it kind of gets a little bit of its shape. And then we're going to put the sausage mixture over it, and then another fathead dough on top. After we bake that one for just a few as well. But we're going to blind bake that one as well. And then when it's ready to be baked, we're going to put it in the oven and bake it at 350 degrees for, you know, however long it takes to get golden brown and done. So this sauce is done. I'm going to go grab the spaghetti squash and we're going to move forward. Alright, so sister's scraping out the spaghetti squash, the seeds, and I'm just going to scrape out the flesh into this glass pan. We do like spaghetti squash at our house. It was on sale at Aldi for 69 cents a pound, and we got a pretty decent sized one. So I thought, here, I'll make a spaghetti bake, and that would be perfectly fine. We have been looking at some what are considered lower carb pastas, and we looked at one yesterday, and it was, we don't know where they got that low carb from, because there were 42 grams of carbs. We said, passing on by that. Now, I'm not a big pasta person. I don't have to have it. I'll eat it, but it doesn't make me feel any special type of way like some people. Alana loves pasta. I am not overly. No, it's perfect. So you want to put it into the pan, babe, but you want to make it go up the sides of the pan, right? And I know on my last video, I got a lot of flack, or some, about the kids helping. They have to learn. I wonder how some people think that children will know how to become adults unless their parents teach them. So when my kids were smaller, I did all the cooking because they were smaller. Now that they're bigger, and Alana will be 17 on her birthday, Jackson will be 12, they should know how to do certain things. Now, there are certain times when they have school or taekwondo or, you know, another project or youth group, when they are not in here doing things. Like on Sundays, they have their youth group, Alana works. So I take care of the meal responsibilities. Because they go to evening youth group. So when they come home, there's usually something waiting for them. And it's a blessing to their lives. But they have to learn. If I never teach them, I wonder what people would say when they go out into society. Like, oh God, her mama didn't teach her how to do nothing. Or worse, they will say, my mom didn't teach me how to cook. Because here's the reality. Beauty didn't teach me how to cook. It was my grandparents, my grandmother. Because I went to live with her when I was a little girl, who said, you're going to be in this kitchen and you're going to learn how to cook. So there's the spaghetti squash. I'm going to take it over to where the seasonings are and get this seasoned. All right, so I've got my spaghetti squash here. I didn't put a lot of seasoning in the meat sauce itself, but I am going to season the squash. So salt, black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, oregano, anything I have that's going to make it Italian or more Italian-ish. Garlic. You could put fresh garlic if you wanted to. This is chopped onions. work it up the sides, bud. Use your fingers to pull it like this. That might make it a little bit easier. You want it to go up the sides. Okay, so that's a little dried onions. I didn't have any more of that seasoning blend. We actually used all of that. Salt. And thank goodness I bought some of those salt rocks because I'm getting to the end of this, but my grinder still works.
How far up the stairs do you want it?
As far up as it will go, Leland. Some Italian seasoning would be great. Here's a little oregano. That's all that's left. We'll use that up. And a little basil. Nice and seasoned. Whoop. We'll rinse that off. And now that that's all seasoned and ready, I'm just gonna take my sauce that I made, and I'm leaving that fat in there. I'm leaving the fat from the sausage in there. And I'm just gonna mix this all together with this squash. Okay, let me see, babe. Let me just finish this real fast, and then I'll help you. And whenever I'm satisfied that there is quite enough mixture here, I'm just gonna top this with a little bit of mozzarella cheese. Let it cool, and then it'll go in the freezer. Put some foil. And that will cool, and it will be ready to roll. So we have our fathead dough pizza, or fathead dough. We're gonna put this in the oven for about 4.5 minutes on 425, just so it can kind of get a little bit baked, so we're not putting the topping in raw. And we were supposed to have a second one on top, but we didn't get it made, so we're just gonna do a bottom one and see what we think. Next time we'll put a top one on. But what she did was she did crescent rolls, and she did a larger pan than this. She did crescent rolls at the bottom. She put the sausage mixture in the middle, and then she did crescent rolls on the top and baked it. We're just doing the bottom and the middle because we didn't get the other fathead dough done. But it's okay. Kids and I are going to get the kitchen cleaned and then eat breakfast because we do have to get some other things done and start school. All right, so we've taken out the dough, and now I'm just going to take this sausage and cream cheese mixture. I think she used 2 pounds. I only had 1 pound, so we just made it smaller. I have to go back and see if I can't find that recipe. It's on one of her vlogs she did recently. And so I'm just going to do this. Spread it out. Now remember, I ground my sausage. She did not ground hers. But I don't like those big chunks of sausage. And then what she did was she used crescent rolls. And then she took a second crescent roll package and put it over the top to make like a top crust. But we didn't double the batch. So we're just going to do it like this. We're going to put this back in the oven. Let's do it at 400 degrees for about 25 minutes. And we'll see what it looks like.
Some bread.
All right, you guys. So I just want to share with you, kind of wrap this video up where we are. We made this last night. This is the creamy ranch chicken soup. So this is going to be lunch for today, and it'll probably be lunch the next couple days. So Thursday and Friday at least. So we're having lunches, and we're going to have grilled cheese. This we had some, that was from the rotisserie chicken. That was barbecue chicken we had for dinner. So we're actually just warming that up in the oven with a little bit of bacon, and we'll have that for lunch. Here is the cheesy squash casserole where we repurposed that meatloaf. That's going to go in the freezer. Then we actually baked the, there's the fathead dough we use as the bottom crescent rolls. This is a sausage bake. I wish I could cut into it so you can see. It's supposed to have another fathead dough layer on top, but we didn't do it because we didn't double the batch. We should have doubled the batch and we didn't. That's why it looks so brown. Other than that, it would have had like a crust on top and a crust on the bottom. We will do it that way next time. And hers was a lot more chunky. What I did was I ground up my sausage. I don't like those thick pieces. Here is the egg bake. We'll have egg bake for breakfast tomorrow. So we will actually probably just put this in a bowl because we had egg bake for breakfast. And then here is the chicken and rice soup. This has the carrots, the celery, the cabbage. And we will do a thing of rice cauliflower when this is ready to cook. I actually think I might need to put some more water in here. Thinking I may need some more water. So I'm going to do that. And then this is just cooking on low. Once it's done, we'll put it in a couple bowls or some bags in the freezer. Dishes, we got all those dishes washed up, and then I just loaded in what I didn't hand wash. Sink is clean. Well, semi-clean. We just have this.
Coffee. Or is that?
That's hot chocolate. That should be over there. Whose is this? Because it's leaking.
What is it?
The ice.
Oh, the ice.
So that's all that's left in the dishes. And like I said, we're going to put those things up. Sister is actually going to sweep up this floor, and we're going to wet mop it. Jackson is going to finish up with the grilled cheeses, and that's going to be it for us. So I'd say probably a couple hours as far as meal prep, and then we did some last night. We did some this morning just because it worked out. I got in, started way later than normal. If I'd have started right after work about 4:35, I'd have probably been able to get everything done yesterday. But we're just going to keep prepping things. So I think we have we have at least 3 meals that we can have. And then we did not have to start the crock pot. We could have actually just left it in the crock to start tomorrow or Saturday, but it was perfectly fine to do it now. Let it go for just a few more secs, Jack, while you get the grilled cheeses done. But anyway, there it is. We just thought you guys would enjoy this meal prep. Thank you all so much for stopping by. If you liked the video, thumb it up. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.